What is up, everyone? Today,
Hey,
Assassin's Apprentice, or
hi.
whatever, Assassin's Quest live
Quest.
show. and yes, I am joined by two lovely individuals. You guys can introduce yourselves.
Sure, should I go
Yes,
first?
sure.
So this is my first time here in Gregory's channel. My name is Angela. You can call me Angie. So I have a small booktube channel called Bookaholic Brown Nib. I mostly discuss fantasy and mystery, murder, thrillers. That's my favorite two genres. I do read classics once in a while, and I'm trying to get into more of science fiction as well. And trying to start a little bit on manga and graphic novels. Yeah, that's me.
All right. And a
Hey,
returning guest. Yep, go ahead.
hey, this is Anita. Yes, I'm back here, and my channel name is my own name, Anita Gade, and I mostly read fantasy. And these days, my other hobby is eating Greg's brain.
Yep, being my librarian is a full-time job, I think. So,
And making him ready for live shows.
yes, that's
Don't
true.
forget that.
Yes, Anita was kind enough to make the thumbnail today as I was uh, struggling to finish the book in time. Um, so you're getting my live reactions pretty much to finishing the book and the trilogy, guys. I've finished so many trilogies this last month. Um, but yes, uh,
Yeah,
what
mine will be also fresh opinion because I also finished just 2 hours ago.
awesome.
So still processing.
Yep, yep. Well, we can process together. What were your general thoughts? We can go around. Angie, you can go. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, out of the three books, this is my favorite. And I think the least favorite was Royal Assassin. Um, However, I definitely felt there was a lot of drag in the first half of the book, a lot of meandering and yeah, you know, not getting to the point as such. So I was losing interest, but all of a sudden, around halfway through the book, it really picked up and things were going really fast. And especially like the last 50 pages were like so action packed and so much was happening. And a lot of, I think the only problem that I have with this book is towards the end, I felt a lot of, I don't know, this is my feeling, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt a little bit of overwhelmed with info dump. Um, I don't know if others felt that with a lot of histories and things, history of the raiders, etc. We can get to it later on. But yeah, but overall, I think I would rate this 5 out of 5. Just a 5-star rate for me. Yes.
Awesome. That's awesome. Anita?
I also have unpopular opinion, but I guess that is not unpopular here in this live show. I like this book better than Royal Assassin. Yes, it is very slow paced, and yes, I am frustrated with some in some places. Still, I it is very engaging. I did not mind. I don't mind slow pace at all. You know, every incident, every scene, feels emotional. Maybe trauma, maybe his thinking, his approach, everything. It kept me engaged. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I I agree. I this was better than Royal Assassin for me as well. It was definitely slow, but I like the slow traveling scenes in this book more than I usually like slow traveling scenes,
Mm.
and I liked it more than the slow scenes in Royal Assassin, like the court politics scenes, because um, the I felt like a lot of the stuff in this book was less predictable, I guess. Um,
Mm.
like in Royal Assassin, we knew Regal's intentions, and we were kind of just waiting for it to play out a lot. But then in this, um, we like I didn't expect, you know, like the different things Fitz to do, the different decisions he'd make, the people he would meet, all of that. Um, I did kind of see like the Molly Burrich subplot and kind of where it was going, um, but uh, and I felt like maybe disconnected from some of the characters we met in the previous book, but yeah, I liked it more overall, I think.
Okay. So we have a consensus here.
Yep. Yep. Breaking news: Royal Assassin, worst book in the trilogy. Will we
No,
will all exile ourselves now?
Yeah, I agree with the part that the traveling scenes, uh, generally I get bored when I'm reading fantasy, but I think Robin Hobb has done this very well in this book. You never get bored during that time because it's not mere traveling and description of landscape and what they are, or the, the place they are traveling through, but there are things actually happening, right? The story is also some way progressing, and there is this skill and wit and all those happening, and you get to know things that's happening in other places as well. So there are, you get, glimpses of other characters as well, even though you are stuck with Fitz most of the times, right? So yeah. Oh, lies and slander.
Yep. 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 Yeah. I just love the travel.
are we in
Hmm.
spoilers or only non-spoilers for now?
I feel like we should probably just talk about spoilers because it's
Yeah.
the third in the series, and yeah, that
Okay.
yeah, why not?
I have a question. Who is your favorite character in the trilogy? Both of you.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Anita, do you have a character? Well, I
In
think.
whole trilogy or in this book?
Yeah, trilogy.
It's tough to choose. Definitely, at least in this book, more than Royal Assassin, this book I love Night Eyes.
Right.
Night Eyes is brains in both of them actually.
Yeah, he
Uh,
is much intelligent.
yeah, he's wiser than Fizz, and um, I like Fool. I have mixed opinions in this book. Not in the sense of if I like him or not. I do like him, but there are in some places his sections I was a little kind of bored. I was like, I want other perspectives than him. I felt that.
Mm.
I love Ketrikan and Lady Patience. In fact, even I love you know it is unpopular opinion. I kind of enjoyed Ketila actually.
Carol, yeah. She's a
Yeah,
formidable character. Yeah. Um, but since we are in the spoiler section, um, is it when you talk about fool, is it him or her?
For now, it's him.
Yeah, okay, because I got a little bit confused. What I understand from it is that, like Greg mentioned in our Discord chat, it looks like gender nonconformity, right? That's what I'm thinking because there is this whole paragraph or this section about them talking about gender, especially. There was this conversation between him and was it Fitz or the girl Starlight,
yeah,
where he says, "Is it necessary that a man should act this way?" or something like that. So I got a little bit confused. That's why I wanted to check with you. So for now, it's just him. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. That's what he goes by at least. But like he also doesn't like um care about like the gender roles in the way that everyone else does. It seems like. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I thought that
Considering
was interesting. Oh,
isn't that cool? Sorry, I'm interrupting because I'm
yeah.
so excited. I just finished it. I have so much to talk. In 1997, this was written, so it was. I think it was way ahead of its time handling that subject. I mean, even though it is done that subtly, right?
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely. Um,
Yes, Greg,
yeah. I
your favorite character.
fair. Oh yes. Yeah. Night Eyes was great, and I loved that like I don't know. I love that he got to like live with the wolves for a little bit, and it felt like
Mm.
Ash saying bye to his Pikachu in that one episode when Fitz had to leave him, and yeah, Night Eyes was great. Kettle I liked as well. Um, I liked coming back to Verity, and even though Verity was like a shell of himself, I guess, um,
Mm.
he was like trying to remember things, and it allowed us to understand what was going on with the skill and the forged ones and stuff. Um, and yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the Fool is great too. Like in the first book, I didn't really care too much about the Fool, and then I don't know. In this book, like everyone had their own unique relationships with the Fool, which was great, and yeah, we got to just know more about him. So I
I
kind of
mean,
agree. Night Eyes and the
that
Fool.
scene between Fool and Fizz, where Fool says that I know that Catalyst will be betrayed by someone. I thought it would be Shade. I loved you so much, and I betrayed you. Oh my God, that chapter killed me. I cried. I almost cried in every chapter. Last 4 5 chapters actually.
Yeah, very touching scenes. A lot of them.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I thought actually that would be Burrich, that Catalyst will be betrayed by someone who loves him more. I definitely thought it was Burrich because Burrich loves him like a son. I did not
Mm.
expect it to be full, but when that scene happened, oh my god.
I cried, so I was listening to the audio as well, and the voice of the narrator really quivered at that point, and I really, really cried out. It's when he is still dreaming or like watching Burrich and Molly together, right, towards the end. And then Verity is kind of apologetic, saying that, "Oh boy, I hope you didn't see that." And then he's like, "It's okay, I'm fine." At that point, I really, really was heartbroken for Fitz.
I mean, Hobb handled all emotional scenes very well. They are executed very well. Especially, it doesn't matter how dumb Fizz was in the
Mm,
scenes we want. He may be little slow to react to danger or something, but in emotional scenes, he acts so mature
mm,
that I think that's what captures us. That's why we don't hate Fizz, or we are not annoyed with him, because he acts so matured when it comes to emotional scenes.
yeah.
Yeah,
She.
yeah, he was
Mm,
definitely mature, and or like he matured a lot. Because like last book and the first book, his scenes with Molly, he was a lot less like he handled everything a lot worse. I did like the Burrich Molly scene where he ended up seeing everything, which was hard for him. And even though I saw that coming, um, it was like it was brutal to watch. I think.
yeah.
Okay, your thoughts on Burrich and Molly ending up together? Chat, you can tell your thoughts too.
Yeah.
I'll go first. Yeah, but let's hear from Chad as well. But yeah, I was not a fan of it at first, but then like Fitz being gone and thought dead for over a year, that was and then they like lived together and they were in hiding together pretty much. I thought that was cool, and it I feel like for that reason it worked in my head.
Angie?
Mhm. I didn't see it coming, but I unfortunately I don't know, somehow I clicked on the spoiler in the chat and I already knew this was going to happen. That was my bad. So I saw this coming, but I didn't predict this myself, right? So for me it was kind of weird and awkward, and but I totally understand because she is in this world all alone, and she for sure she has this understanding that Fitz is dead, right? It's not like he's left her or anything and she has to wait for him. There is a finality in her mind that he's never going to come back. So I was accepting of it, but I didn't see this coming. It was for me very awkward because he is kind of elderly also, right? I mean, a bit older, not elderly, older.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was. Um, but then I think uh, that was the most reasonable course for Molly at that point in time. I think to take.
Yeah, personally, I understand easily, or accepted easily in terms of Molly's perspective, because as Molly said, she saw her father. Her father loves her, but still he beat her, and she saw Fizz. Fizz loves her, still he is secretive. He is not as caring as Burridge. So she, for from her side, from Molly's side, it is a very practical course. At the same time, she saw Burridge, you know, treating her kid and her with patience when Molly herself is frustrated when they came back from rain. But it was kind of struggle for me to understand it from Burridge's side, because I always thought Burridge loves Fitz, Burridge is loyal to Fitz. So for me, I always thought Burridge wants to take care of Nettle and Molly and provide for them because of his love for Fizz. So to me, to accept Burgess' love for Molly is kind of a struggle, but I don't hate him for it. I understand. It is also what I think Fitz said to Burridge in the confrontation at the beginning of the book. Fizz calls him out for, for not getting married, for not being selfish and take care of his
Ah, yeah.
life, leaving patients and dedicate his life to chivalry. He only called Burridge, and that might have made Burridge think to look at, to look out for himself. I think
Mm.
someone said in the chat, I think Derry only, everything has consequences. Even Fid's confrontation have consequence here. Burridge started thinking for his own future.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I thought it was done well, like all the interactions throughout the book that led to them, that led to Molly confessing her feelings, I guess. Um, just because um, I get like how it's kind of a betrayal to Fitz, but Fitz was dead, and or at least in their mind, and yeah, it was just like a situational thing, like Stacy said.
I
Um,
I definitely don't think it's betrayal to Fitz.
mhm,
In their both minds, actually, Fitz is dead.
Yeah.
It is very organic, as Stacey said.
Hmm.
mhm.
Yeah. But what fits he fits need not see that, right? I mean, that was
Yeah,
brutal. That was really cruel. Uh,
yeah, it was.
Considering how many women he fend off, and he was strong with his love towards Molly all this while. So many people women trying to hit on him and all that. He, you know, stayed true to her, but yeah, at the end he had to lose her. So that was kind of sad. It was heartbreaking.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah,
And
bro code.
coming to other awkward scene, what did you think about Verity in his body?
Verity and what?
Um, Fitz's body and being
Oh,
with Ketrican.
um,
I hated it. Sorry, blunt, but I don't know if that was the thing supposed to be done. Then fine, but it was even more weirder than Fitz watching Burrich and uh, Molly. What do you think, Greg?
um, what towards the end? Yeah, um,
Did you
I
finish reading the book?
Yeah.
I did. I like don't remember that part. Um, I just remember Verity being happy, and I'm like, oh, I'm happy they're happy, but maybe I like zoned out while reading that part. Um, but um, I don't know. I just got like the vibes of Ketrigan like being happy that yeah.
Yeah, for me, I felt that I didn't quite understand. I think the book did not completely make me understand why that was the absolute necessity that they had to exchange their body or like whatever, him taking over his body.
I
Uh,
think I think that understandable. As Verity promised Fitz, they're not going to Nettle. They're not going to use Nettle as the royal heir. So they have to
mm,
make their own heir. At the same time, Verity needs an heir. At the same time, he also needs to finish the dragon. He needs to feel it wasn't enough. Whatever he has kept, all his emotions, all his feelings, whatever, it
mm.
wasn't enough, so he needs that final passion to feel. So that's what that scene between Verity and Fitz, where Verity asks, it shames me to tell you this, it shames me to ask you this, but I needed that final passion once.
Yeah, but I still felt it was unnecessary. She could have used some other way to get his energy up or whatever. That
but
was
uh, but 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 but, but,
very
but,
weird.
but but I think it isn't done. We are going to see the consequences of that. I think that's why she added that part.
Oh, in the coming books. Okay.
Yes, I think we are
Okay.
going to see the consequences of that. I think it plays some role in future plots. It's not just for one scene. That's
But
what
he's
I
already
think.
old, right? I
What do
mean,
you mean old?
Fitz is already old, right now?
Not
In
yet.
the last
He's, I think,
chapter.
23 or something.
Okay,
Or when
because
he's writing it, you mean he's old? I don't know.
yeah,
No,
because the last chapter I've been talking about. The
no,
last chapter.
he isn't old. He said 6 years. It took me 6 years to come back to Buck. After that,
Mm.
elderling to fly away with Verity. I
Yeah.
mean, Verity flying away. He stayed back, right? At the end,
Yeah.
Fizz says, it took me 6 years to come back to Buck. So only 6 years passed.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then but then he's brought the kid or like the new
Yeah.
boy,
Yeah,
and then that's another
he's
3 years.
rising the kid only from past 3 years. That's all.
Yeah, so it's
Mm.
been like maybe 10 years after 9 or 10 years.
Yeah, yeah, I was thinking because he talks about his knee paining and he's not able to walk, so I thought he's an old guy,
Knee
right?
paining.
I was
No,
right.
maybe I missed it.
He might be in his 30s. I don't know. I wonder how long this whole book took or this whole series took. Like, did it span 2 years? Maybe I don't know.
See, I am guessing, as per Nettle being born and age, the entire travel from the beginning, starting and ending is 1 year plus six
1 year.
years at the end. So total 7 years, I'm guessing.
Mm.
Okay, okay. Then I'm happy. I want to see more of Fitz. I want to see more of Fool. Definitely Night Eyes because and he also says Night Eyes also he's graying. His muscle is grayed in the last chapter.
Yeah,
So that's why
yeah,
I was thinking both of them are old now.
Not yet. We still have like,
Fingers crossed.
we still have how many books? 16 minus 3, 13 books to go.
yeah,
Wow, a
yeah.
long journey, yeah.
Just yes.
So, what are your favorite scenes? What are your favorite themes?
Scenes? Yeah, scenes.
Yeah, scenes or
I
themes.
yeah,
Both?
I'm a little bit confused.
Both.
Both, okay. So
Okay.
scenes that would be many, so many are there. Like one would be that scene where one by one, the in the beginning, the soldiers are poisoned and they fall one by one, right? And at the end, when Bolt is also dying, I love that scene, guys. I really like because I was wondering why he is going to this um lady who's cooking something, right, and trying to help her, and all out of the blue. And then later, when we realize that he has actually poisoned them, and then we realize it is not worth. Again, disappointment, and then one by one falls, start. dying. I really like that scene. I don't know. I Fitz has always faced so many failures. So finally, when he gets a win, that's my favorite scene.
I think it's also because there in that scene he did not rely on Night Eyes. He saved himself. He used his assassin techniques, what he learned from the beginning, and he used that. That's why that scene is good.
Yeah, that's true. And there are many scenes in there. Night Eyes have these wisdom quotes. All of a sudden, he becomes this wise old, wolf. And I have them marked in here, but I can't search for them now. But all those scenes where Night Eyes is super, wise and being better in making decisions than Fitz. All those scenes I absolutely loved it. Yeah, if I remember something, I'll tell you guys.
Greg?
Sure. Yeah, favorite scenes. I liked in the middle where he's like trying to assassinate Regal and it doesn't work, but that was crazy and like everything was in it like an illusion in his mind. Um that was great. And then having the dragon, the real dragon come out um and yeah, and then Verity shows up and Patience is like do something. and and then just killing the boats. I feel like I was waiting for the dragon the whole book, so I loved it. Um, and yeah, just I feel like we learned more about the world in this book than a lot of the other books. So I
Mm,
liked a lot of the little scenes with Kettle doing the board game and and yeah, and just like giving history and stuff in a very
mm.
cryptic way. And they're dragons, Kate. They're dragons.
Only in this book, I agree with you. Only in this book.
Wait, is that an insider joke which I don't know?
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's. I mean, Greg calls everything dragon, including Phoenix. I know. I read Crown of Feathers series, and I made a video. I made a review of that series. He called Phoenix also dragons.
All magical creatures are dragons, according to Greg, huh?
Yes. Mostly dinosaurs. Dinosaurs don't exist. They're just dragons.
Night Eyes got a huge character development in this book. In last
Yeah.
book, even in the beginning of this book, he was like, "Leave them, come with me, let's go." But in this, once after he has his own, after he traveled with his own pack with wolves, then he got his. Oh, I mean, character development. He accepts that Fizz is human and he is wolf, and he can't become a human, and Fizz can't become a wolf. He accept that there should be a balance, and that made a huge difference here. I really really like that part.
And all the big reveals I love, like the White Prophet and Catalyst. Did you guys think that he will be the White Prophet? Any? I didn't see
I
that
did not
coming,
think.
Who the
I
right?
did
fool?
not think.
Yeah.
Or yeah. I didn't know because him and Kettle had just all this wisdom, so I didn't know what would happen really. But I did kind of believe in the catalyst stuff just because it was talked about so much.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
She can't accept that wolf is intelligent, then
That was really
that was
funny.
fun. I like the quest a lot. Actually, it reminded me of Fellowship of the Ring. Of course, Fellowship of the Ring. That means Lord of the Rings. Greg.
Yes.
In that, actually, of course, we get these huge epic fantasy moments like trolls or giants. Of course, we don't get those kind of magical high fantasy moments here. The journey is more with the emotional thinking and connections. But it reminded me of Fellowship of the Ring a lot.
mm.
Hey,
What, the whole series or just
just when they started questing, when they started traveling in the mountains, that part reminded me of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, actually it did. But to be frank, I don't know if you remember from my review, Anita, I didn't like Fellowship of the Ring, at least the first part where the actual journeying is happening. But maybe now more, uh, I'm more tempered to this kind of fantasy where there is a slow burn travel questy kind of theme. I could enjoy this one better, I think.
I
Maybe.
I have both. I like high fantasy. I like emotional journey. That's why I could enjoy both of them. Fellowship of the
Yeah.
Ring was like one of my top reads, one of my top 10 books last year, and this is going to be in my top 10. I mean, if
Right?
not Life Ships and Tawny Man, this is going to be in my top 10 this year. I enjoyed that. There are so many moments. I related to Fizz a lot. There is one moment where. Fizz is angry with Chade and Ketrikan when they decided to take his kid for royal as royal heir. Then Fizz thinks, I am so angry with them. Why can't I hate them? I hate my weakness. That's what he thinks. That is so
Yeah.
relatable. I mean, those exact sentences I had thought so many times. This person is so bad. Why can't I hate this person? Why can't I be cruel to this person? I thought that so many times in my life.
Yeah, very relatable. He's a very real character, and that actually justifies the failures he have to face over and over again, right? Hobb doesn't make the characters super powerful or anything, but they're all learning about the world around them as we are, and especially Fitz. So that's what
Actually,
makes him very real, I feel.
that's a very intelligent narration. Fizz is not the most intelligent main character, but that
Yeah.
gave Hobb scope to develop all these side characters which we love a lot.
Mhm. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely liked, all the side characters and getting to learn more about them as well. And I feel like going back and rereading would would actually give me quite a bit in terms of seeing like different things about the characters. Even though in the last two books I wasn't as invested in all the characters, I feel like this made me more invested in everyone.
Yeah. I have one thing about the what's that text that comes before the actual chapter begins? The ones in italics.
Epigraph, maybe.
Oh yeah. So that's for the last paragraph for chapter 41. They explain why exactly the Out Islanders are attacking uh, the Six Duchies, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
And now when I read that, now I'm like, okay, so they're taking a revenge, right? That's why they are destroying everything indiscriminately. They are not keeping anything. There is no hoarding, nothing like that. They're just destructive basically because it's all about revenge. And then when we think about it, the Six Duchies started it off in the beginning, right? So I was a little bit conflicted in okay, should I vouch for Six Duchies going forward because they started it off all in the beginning and they are just retaliating after many generations. So that was a very conflicting thing to put in at the end, you know, to question our loyalties or how I don't know. It's very curious. I'm very curious to see how this is being, you know, for this is going to be further in the next books. What did you think about that part?
I
Uh,
think. Okay, go ahead, Greg.
oh, okay. Yeah, I was just gonna say for like the next books and stuff, the live ship books specifically, since they're coming after this, it'll be
Mm,
interesting. I assume we're following around some of the pirates because they're going to be on boats and stuff, or the red ship raiders or whatever precedes them. So it's interesting that we learned their history throughout this book, and and especially at that last epigraph, it
mm,
it basically gave us like why they were going, or why they were attacking so much, and like kind of their motives. which was a question throughout the whole series. So it'll be interesting where they go in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
What were you gonna say, Anita?
I think I was going to say the same. We get, I think we'll get more details in future books, but that is a very good point where this is all a circle. Uh, they started riding, and these people woke up elderlings and forced them. So in turn, those people are forcing these people. Now they
Mm,
defended and again, attacked them. There is no end to that. That is a very true and interesting concept. I think Hobb is going to explore that more in future books.
Hmm.
right. And I also like this fact that we didn't know what the magic behind the forging is, right? What they're actually using. We don't know it yet. But we know that somehow maybe it is tied to how these elderlings are, I don't know, how they are awakened because they have to be given these souls or people, like, and it's kind of a forging of the people themselves, right? So that's also interesting how those two were tied together. So I'm also very curious to know how or the magic behind forging. How did they figure out to do this and get back to the six duchies, to take their revenge? That will also be interesting to see. How did they figure out?
I think it's everything to do with that black stone available in this elderling city.
Hmm. I
Uh,
love the visions. When you said that Blackstone, I remember I loved the visions, all of them, the big buildings and stuff like that. So, right. Uh,
okay, coming to my ranting about Fizz. Okay,
Oh,
I,
geez.
okay, brace yourselves, everybody.
you know, I I have all tabs here in I don't like green color, so everything I hate I'll tab with green. Okay, I
Uh
tabbed with
huh.
green everywhere. I don't like that fit scene, but I'll mention only couple of there, and I'll give couple of examples where Fitz spy on coterie members and Regal talking, where Regal tells them, let Burl wait for them for Fitz, you go from, he's giving orders. So at least we are clear there, that Burl is waiting for Fitz in mountainside before crossing the bridge. Okay, but apparently Fitz did not pick that up, and he was like, okay, one he thinks that once I cross the bridge or once I cross the river, I'll be away from coterie members, I'll be away from danger. That's what I mean. He missed so many. I mean, it felt like, when I read those moments, it felt like this power is wasted on Fitz. He's spying, but he's not picking up these things, these clues. But
Yeah.
but later, I think, uh, next, that was the night. Next day morning, I dream every night. The minute I wake up, I forget everything. May- then I thought maybe I'm being very hard on Fizz. Maybe it's possible that if he gets disoriented after skill dreaming. He isn't that expert in skill, and it's possible that he forgets that. So I kind of understand that, but where I got angry was, you know sorry, Stacy. Sorry, sorry for everyone, who likes green. But to be fair, I like these green color tabs. From next book. I use green color for different thing. I don't like blue in these tabs. I blue for things I hate. Okay. uh, when they met, Verity tells everyone that he killed Carrot with skill, so he can't skill anymore. His skill is burnt out. He just tells everyone that. The next scene, Fizz asks him that, I need to warn Molly and Burridge, can you skill them? I was like, oh, Verity, just now, like 1 minute back, he told you that his skill is burnt. Why can't you listen? Don't you listen? I was so frustrated in that scene.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with intelligence here. You can be dumb, you can be dumb as rock, but you can still listen to the other person what that person is saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Fitz was a little bit frustrating for me as well. Especially he sometimes I don't know. He's looks like he's looking for trouble, right? Not running away from it. I always felt that. But for me, I think um, I felt a little bit frustrated with how Ketrican treated Fitz when he comes back, right?
Hmm.
Uh, did you feel that? I mean, I felt real bad how she treated him because he has gone through so much. And even
But
when he was,
she also has gone through so much.
yeah, but I felt that she is using her position to place her sorrow above his own or his suffering above his own. I felt that. And yes, she has gone through a lot, but at the same time, when he is narrating, she is not even ready to show sympathy towards him. But all the time, Fitz, you know that she understands. I always felt that Fitz is trying to understand everybody else, giving them a second chance, third chance, fourth chance. Fitz is doing that. But others don't give him that many chances, I feel. I always felt that. And maybe that's why he is not, um, sometimes he acts, uh, yeah, frustratingly.
Derry, 1 minute, Angela, before I'll come to that point. Derry, I understand Verity hasn't lost his skill, only diminished. But in that moment, he said that he lost. That's what I mean. That's what I'm telling.
Hmm.
To come back to your point, Angie, I understand you are frustrated with Ketrikan. Yes, she was not being fair to Fitz in that moment. Even I felt that, but after finishing it, when we look at the bigger picture, it's totally understandable. What she lost, why she is being unfair with Fitz. I mean, she lost her. I mean, she thought Verity was dead. She lost her husband and she lost her kid. She doesn't have anything to leave her. I mean, she doesn't have any hope left. So, uh, I kind of understand her bitterness. I felt sad for her, but yes, she. Uh, but her priority, I mean, it wasn't menace or something. Her intention is only, she's only giving to priority to Six Touches.
Mm, yeah. Like her duty as queen.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think that she still could have been a little bit more sympathetic towards him. That's what I felt. Because Molly also has gone through similar situation, right? She has lost her husband. She has a kid that she has to tend to, and all that. So yeah, I don't know. I at that moment I really felt really frustrated with Ketrigan. Yeah, that was one frustration.
I really like how well Hobb represented women in this book.
Mm,
I mean, we get all kinds of women in every stage of life, even in terms of that girl who betrayed Fizz, who told that that is Fizz to soldiers,
mm-hmm,
Tassio or
mm-hmm,
someone, even
mm-hmm.
Starling, and they're of course we hate that girl because she betrayed Fitz, but that is so understandable, and that is
Yeah.
something people do in life. I mean, it is so understandable. That girl, she is a victim of system here. Her own mother
Mm,
sold her. She doesn't
mm.
like doing that puppet thing or something. Her only priority, her obsession is is to get out of that puppeter, to buy herself. She wants money. Why? And
Was
she
freedom.
doesn't care about fits. I mean, she doesn't care about, who is how what import. I mean, how important fits is for six stitches or bigger picture or elderlings or forging. She doesn't care about, her priority is herself. That's what she did for her survival. That is so
Mhm.
understandable. Yes, we hate her, but every character here in this book is so understandable. I love that. Even Starling, her goal, her priority, her obsession, and yes, she's annoying, but she's a survivor and she did what she needs to survive. She did not, you know, um, um, depend on anyone else, to bring her songs to. She wants songs. She traveled for that song. Of course, she
Yeah.
annoyed us a lot, but she did that, for her purpose, for her goal. I really like that. Every character in the book is like that.
Yeah, I saw those comments in chats and discussions that Starlight. Her name is Starlight or Starling? Starlight, right? Yes, so bad.
I I think I said Starling. I don't remember. Um,
Starlight, I think, right? Now I cannot find her. But I never found her that irritating because I could always, feel her desperation to find a new song, right, to her own name.
yes, yeah,
Uh,
she had a specific goal.
Starling. Sorry, I
Starling.
was wrong. I was wrong. Sorry. Yeah, I agree with you. All the characters are very real, relatable, and at the same time, we can actually find their reasons also acceptable. It doesn't feel like something cooked up for, uh, you know, just for the sake of, what do you call that, drama or anything. But everybody were real as such. That I completely agree, especially the women characters. Yeah. Go
Okay,
ahead.
next Stacy's topic, Verity as Dragon.
Um,
I think that was super cool.
yeah,
Greg, go ahead. I'll let you
yeah.
talk.
I like, yeah, I liked it. Um, like when he got there, it was interesting to see the process because we got that for quite a while, like at least 100 pages of him just chiseling away. Um, and that was an interesting concept of it like takes your memories and your emotions and stuff, not your memories, I guess, but then it connected with the forged ones as well, and we kind of realized how they got to be the way they were as well. And um and it it and when they found Verity, Fitz and Ketrigan and everyone, it almost brought a little bit of himself back to himself, and
Mhm.
or I felt like it did, and it helped him finish the crafting the dragon. So that was very cool.
Yeah, I actually like that part of the ending. I think. Um, um, what is Derry commenting?
Um,
It is like inspiring to consider the volume of life required to quicken it. Okay, so does that mean that he has to keep on feeding the dragon or dragon? But
I think it's
what
done.
I
I think it's done, but
done,
uh,
yeah,
there is the
and they will
expert,
feed
but
themselves. Yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead,
go ahead.
Tanita.
Go
No,
ahead.
what I heard is that I mean, not heard, read, I think somewhere, that the dragon, once it is alive, then it will look for its own sustenance, right? That's what I
Yeah.
got.
Their
Yeah.
sustenance is forging, I mean, people consuming people. Once they stop, they will become
Mm-hmm.
stones. That's what I understood from this book, at least.
Mm-hmm.
mm, yeah, that must have been what happened to them originally, because when they found a bunch of the stone dragons.
Mm.
Um, yeah. Also, what was going on with the city of ghosts? I forgot about that. He just like went there, and he was the ghost in the city of ghosts,
Yeah,
and yeah.
yes, that was also really, so it's kind of a, I don't know, portal. When he touched the stones, right? That's when he got get transported to that place. And to be frank, I didn't understand the concept of the skill river and all that. Is it a magical place only accessible to people who can skill, or anybody can go there? So it was kind of confusing. I think there's a lot of loose ends there. Hopefully, we will get the answers in the future books. Don't know,
I think
but
yes, we I think we will get from more from future books. At the same time, I think anybody can go there, but they it doesn't affect them. It
mm,
affects only skilled people. If they're not careful, it might consume them.
Mm, yeah.
Okay, thoughts on Fool taking those dragon elderlings to war and him leaving for his home. Thoughts on him?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I like how he like did the project basically with the dragon and the girl, and then once he started it, he just couldn't stop, um and then he like made that his mission in the same way that Verity had made it his mission to make his own dragon.
mm.
And oh, it was interesting that the girl was like part of that dragon. Um, it was like an extra limb almost, is how I read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, that part kind of was a little bit confusing, in the sense what happened to that girl, that she
See
wanted to
what?
remain in her own form or
Yeah.
something, and then she
See,
became a
as
so-called.
all these people, coterie members, they chisel only dragon shapes. What that girl
Mm,
did was, in addition to the dragon shape, she also chiseled her own shape on top of dragon, and she did
mm,
not keep. Verity kept entire himself, his emotions, everything into his dragon he made, but
mm,
that girl on the dragon, all her coterie members put themselves in the dragon.
mm.
Girl on the dragon, she did not put herself in the dragon, she kept herself in her stone form. That's
Oh,
why the dragon wasn't finished, but
oh,
Fool came and finished that part, and Night Eyes woke that entire shape up.
shape up. Yeah, that scene was really what cool. I mean, I was wondering what this fool's role in this whole thing, but it was very satisfying because it was so curious how these two, Catalyst and the Prophet, will work together. I was curious to see that work. So yeah, it was wonderfully executed, I have to say.
Yeah,
And
I really enjoyed. I understand. I kind of understand why people don't like this book. It is slow paced, and people generally need more action. They don't need this emotional, feelings or emotional talk, or what is the word for that, introspection of every feeling they feel. But I loved it. Every emotion, every dialogue. I mean, it is. I mean, I kind of like both the high fantasy and these things. So this is completely 5 stars for me.
yeah, I mean, it is 830 pages, at least in my copy, 838 pages. Uh, I still cannot think if it can be shorter, maybe initial couple of chapters, but later on there is nothing you can omit, or there is nothing that is unnecessary, I felt, because it was all adding to the, like, this the magic of storytelling, right? How it all came together, everything was necessary. I was just going back and checking out what each chapter was about, and I was thinking, can we get rid of any of these chapters? Where I just couldn't pick not even one chapter. So yeah, it is big. Yes, maybe the couple of first 200, 300 pages is a slow burn, but it does definitely pick up pace later on, I think. Even though it is still long and sprawling, I think there is plenty of action. I think there is plenty of intrigue, mystery, a lot of reveals, uh, satisfying ending, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
So, what do you think about Regal? A chat. I think it's one of the favorite scenes of people.
You mean the ferret one?
Yeah,
Oh, I love that. I just loved it. Even when he made this ferret appearance in the first half, right, when he comes with a message to Fitz, I loved that also because I had it in my notes. Even then, I wrote it down. The ferret messenger, that was my favorite scene. Unexpected. And yeah, at the end also, I loved it.
I mean,
Yes.
uh, I can't remember exactly, but this kind of trope is in I have seen in other movies where that bad person won't get killed when he was bad, but once he changes, when he's working on himself, he gets killed. I don't remember exactly which movie or what I have seen that, but actually, I think Fitz was very matured here. He, no matter, it doesn't, irrespective of how much he hates Regal, he did not kill him outright, and he made this such a diplomatic, good political decision, and he made Regal loyal to the
Katrikan.
kingdom, Ketrikan and her
Mhm.
son. I I definitely would have I definitely would have loved if that ferret killed Will or Regal before um, they changed. Um, I don't.
Yeah,
I mean,
I wanted to kill Regal.
I understand how satisfying it is. At the same time, I did not celebrate or I did not feel happy when that happened.
Hmm. But the amount of pain he had caused everybody, I wanted some more,
Yeah,
something
but that is a
much
quick
more
death,
worse for
right?
him.
But that is a quick death. I don't like quick deaths. I like him being a loyal person to the kingdom. I want him to survive serving the kingdom, actually.
Yeah, but
Greg, what do you think about that?
yeah, I was fine with Regal dying.
Anita, see, you're outnumbered here.
That's okay. I mean, I'm just sharing my thoughts.
No, no, but I get your point as well because it needs to be a quick thing for him. He doesn't pay for what he has done. That is also true. And this was a nice way to make him work for everything that he has done, right?
Mhm.
So that is also, I mean, again, that is the brilliance of Robin Hobb, right? She just didn't go with killing as a solution. That was a great move, I think. Now that you brought that up, I am also thinking, yeah, maybe that's a very, what do you call that? Smart move by Robin Hobb to, yeah.
Yeah, I think both Derry's point and Miru's points. Initially, Tilth and Pharaoh should be part of Six Duchess. They should be united. That's why it
Mm.
happened like that. At the same time, as Miru said, Regal's death wasn't even the main event. It's like, okay, yes, exactly. P.S. It's done.
Yeah. Yeah, it was more important that he like lost power basically and that they could reunite or the duchies could reunite and the red ship raiders were gone. Regal was kind of like it's like the scene in Star Wars where Mace Windu's like he's too dangerous to keep alive. That's kind of how I felt about Regal staying alive.
Mm.
Um so yeah,
But if, sorry to interrupt, but if he changed like via skill, is his, what do you
He's
call that?
still impressioned by Fitz. It's not change.
Mm.
yeah. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I guess I just don't know if he could come back to be
Yeah,
the way he was. It like if Fitz died or something, I don't know. Then would Regal come back and get loyalist and I
See,
don't
I
know.
don't think. See, Galen died. Even then, coterie members were loyal to Regal. I
Yeah.
think death
mm,
does not affect that skill impression. If
Mhm.
they
mm,
are not, if they are as powerfully impressioned with skill as Galen's.
yeah. I had this frustration with Fitz, that he is not able to do skill correctly, right? Like being this supposed to be the central character, and he's not able to do the magic properly. But it was so satisfactory, when we actually find out that, the reason behind that is him consuming elf bark without knowing that it will be, his skill is subdued by that consumption. So that was also, I don't know how she thought about all this and connected everything together, Robin Hobb. So that was also great. But I was so frustrated with Fitz, like, why is he not able to do magic?
Yeah, that made me laugh as well because I was like thinking back and I'm like, did he use skill? Like, did he get worse at using skill? And then it
Hmm.
made sense in the first book because he was talking to Galen and stuff, and then he got
Hmm.
injured, I think, and then his skill got worse as he must have been consuming elf bark at that time too. Um, so yeah, and then Kettle's reaction was just like,
She was fed up with these boys.
yeah,
I checked in Goodreads reviews. Many people hated Kettle, but I loved her. I enjoyed
I
her.
love
I
her.
I loved her job, poking fizz. I was like, oh my god. I think Kettle made the quest more interesting for me.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Kettle
loved
was
her.
like the old wizard character that every quest needs, who knows more than they let on, and you're kind of frustrated that they aren't saying everything they know, but they're old and they're annoying in that way, but they're great in every other way. That was my opinion, I guess.
I mean, I personally didn't find it annoying at all. I had fun.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
I think
and
I think I kind of very um, Hobbes' writing works for me. I don't find any character annoying at all.
hmm
Of course,
hmm
except Fizz, you know, my rant.
come on, Fitz is our.
Yeah, I love Fizz. I adore him. I relate so much. But still, I was.
Yeah, there were some points where he was frustrating. Yes, I had just one question. So in the beginning, right, many times he gets recognized by these people because obviously Regal and his soldiers are searching for him, and he has his card and blah blah blah. But my question always, which was bothering me, and again, which made me frustrated with Fitz, is that he's supposed to be a trained assassin, a royal assassin, and then shouldn't be an expert disguise be part of his training, and he should know to disguise himself. And I was like, he is getting caught like every like second chapter. It was so frustrating for me. Like, dude, you are an assassin. Why don't you just change the way you look and, yeah, not get caught? So did you feel that, or maybe I'm missing something here?
Yeah, I feel like he got caught a lot, especially just because I don't know. I guess in a small town when there's nothing to talk about and like the only gossip is like, hey, there's one person who's uh you know uh, a renegade from
Mm.
King Regal, and then it's like, oh, a person showed up in town. Like everyone's gonna cross reference him with like the missing person or the description of the missing person. But
Mhm.
like in a bigger city, like I feel like that would happen less. Um, but yeah, I feel like he probably should have learned disguises better at some point, but I guess he was absent from Chade's
Uh,
assassin school that day. I don't know.
I think Fizz is relying on his beard and his scars.
Yeah.
Sometimes, in most of the times, actually, he was like, I don't even recognize myself on mirror. So he was like, he kind of relied on the fact that people don't recognize him. And to add to Neeru's point in the comment, where that scene between that moment between Fizz and Kettle, where she learns to forgive herself. I mean, it's such an important moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just in the book. Everywhere. What is it called? Our healing starts with
Yeah.
accepting ourselves, forgiving ourselves. That is really very well executed scene, in my opinion.
Right. Like you said, all the characters. are giving each other something or the other, right? It's not just one person that just fits that we are focusing on. So I think that's what the plus point or the USP of this book is, that every character has something to offer to you, and nobody is there just for the sake of it. Everybody has a purpose.
We did not talk about Jade at all in this book. What did you
We
guys
hardly
think?
saw Jade.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. He was not there much, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's out of his isolation of 50 years and he's having fun with his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is great with the ladies apparently.
Yeah. That
That
was
came
funny.
as a surprise.
Okay,
It's really funny.
last chat, everyone. Derry, you don't answer this question. Just you can you can tell at the end who is close. So from the beginning of Assassin's Apprentice until the end. Now, according to you, how old is Fitz?
At the end of you mean of this book, Assassin's Quest?
I mean, by the end of Assassin's Quest, how old do you think Fizz is?
Um like 32 maybe. Like the last chapter time jumps like a lot. So I don't know.
My theory is Fizz before going in first book Assassin's Apprentice, before going to Jampe to kill Rurisk, he was 14. So I mean, after going there, he spends some time to recover from poisoning. He comes back in Royal Assassin. In Royal Assassin, I don't remember reading about age at all. Maybe I could be wrong. I am assuming at least we spent an year there, so 15. And in this book, the entire journey, 1 year plus last, he said 6 years he took to come back to Buck, so total 7 years. So I'm guessing he's 23.
Really? Hmm. I feel like I feel like Royal Assassin might have been a couple years, just because I remember the seasons being talked about a lot in that, and it's like, oh, it's the summer again, and the Red Ship Raiders are out in full force. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was more than 1 year. I don't know. Should I look it up?
No, it's okay. We have Derry here to comment at the end. Okay, what
Okay.
does chat think? Real Greg thinks around 30. And
Fake Greg.
Casey, what do you think?
Stacy said 29 earlier, I
So I'm
think.
suspect.
Yeah, she said I think 20s or something.
Hmm. No clue.
Did you
Okay.
ask me?
Angie, what do you think?
Okay. I thought he was old, but now I'm confused after talking to you guys. Um, so you know what he says that this lady Starling, she comes and visits her every twice or thrice a year, and then this guy is three, yeah, maybe 30. I'm thinking 30.
Okay, Derry, please answer, please. Also, please don't tell the digit. Just tell at the end of Assassin's Apprentice and Royal Assassin and Assassin's Quest. What do you think? I mean, not think. I know you have read like multiple times. What is your theory? I think he in chart she said something somewhere around 28, but
20.
my calculation did not reach 28. I was only at 23. If Royal Assassin spans for more years, then I understand.
Yeah. He's 6 at the start.
AA, they believe
And
he's
he's
6. Yeah, the
15.
scene where he joined to shoot at the end of AA is 15. There is a little over a year in RA, making him 16ish. Another year moving through the kingdom to A17. At the end of events, he's 18. Oh, AQ also. AQ moving through kingdom plus at the end of events 2 years you are giving. Okay. Okay. But no, Derry, at the end he said, last chapter he said, at the end
It's
of
been one year
events,
since I met Molly, right?
No, last chapter he said it took me 6 years to come back to Buck.
Yeah.
So he spent 6 years roaming around with his wolf after the Elderlings events. So 17 plus 6.
Yeah, I went
Mm,
to all past where the maps go in the world.
right.
Mm, yeah, I don't know. Maybe like prior to the last chapter, he was 18. Probably. I don't know. Um, did he
Mm,
say? Did he say something like Burrich said at some point? Because Burrich was like, when he was talking to Molly, he was like, "I'm old and scarred" or whatever, and then I feel like in the last chapter, Fitz might have said, um, you know, like I'm a young person in a old scarred body. I forget. I forget what he said.
mm,
Mid 20s. Yeah.
Okay, Fizz at the end
I
said,
think, yeah, we can go with mid-20s.
I was 6 years in
Sorry, go ahead.
finding my way back to Buck. One we spent in mountains, one was spent with Black Rolf, Night Eyes Island, and so and so. So his travels and all, he took 6 years after the events to come back to Buck. So he's in mid 20s, 23, 24.
Hmm.
Hey, I
Mm.
win. Anyway, sorry, this is not a competition.
You win.
Anyway, uh, guys, my favorite scene, I forgot to, I tabbed it, I found this now. I forgot to tell. When they were fighting with the Regal Army, Night Eyes and Fizz. And, my brother, then Fizz says, I live Night Eyes, he says, as do I, brother. Then the elderling will answer, as do I, brother, and I hunger. I laughed so much here. That is my favorite scene.
Yeah, there were so many scenes like that, where, I don't know, Fitz does something to Night Eyes, like go with somebody or something, and Night Eyes will say, I'll, I'll make sure you pay for this," like that. So there were so many scenes between Fitz and Night Eyes. It was so funny, and Fitz getting jealous about Night Eyes bonding with others. So,
And my one of my favorites, kettle scene actually, when what is this people Fizz and Fool did that. Actually, she was like the white prophet and kettle. She cried in disgust, rather name them as they are, the fool and the idiot.
yes, yes, I remember that too.
I loved that scene.
Hmm. Yeah. So anything more in the chat? Oh,
This was a good chat. We went an hour 15, so I don't have too much else to
no,
say.
I can talk another couple of hours. It's never ending.
for sure, for sure. Uh, yeah.
Oh, I like this one. Okay, are you done? You want to finish it?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, go
We
ahead.
Yeah,
still
Yeah.
I
have
like
people
that.
tuned
I
in.
like that one, Derry. Okay, in one of the epigraphs, um, where he was talking about diplomacy. The advantage is always to the one who is shrewder in what secret to reveal and when. King Shrewd was fond of saying that when there was no greater advantage than to know your enemy's secret. The
Mm.
these quotes are so good. Some of them are so relatable, and
Yeah,
they apply to us.
yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
we did
Mm,
not talk about forged ones at all, I think, Derry.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that?
Not too much. I mentioned them, I think. But yeah, what like happened to the forged ones? Did we find out? Because I know there's like just a ton of forged ones around, probably still, even when the dragons came. Are they just shit out of luck? Maybe.
in we see them, not much in this book, right? Only in the beginning. I don't even remember the beginning of the book now.
Yeah, a little
And
bit
that's
in the traveling. Yeah.
I think we did not see most of forged ones because they're attracted to wit. Once Fitz moves from there, I think we haven't seen them. I really hoped, at the end when Elderlings came back, that forged ones retain their memories and they will, get back to living. I really hoped for that because so many people were forged. It felt like, more than half the population were died by the end of Assassin's Quest.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was like a plague, basically, in terms of how many people were affected.
Uh, Derry, I could be totally wrong, but as in the book, someone said that I think Old Blood. What is that guy's name? Bear guy's name. Rolf or something. Black Rolf.
Backdrop.
He mentions that he mentioned that forged ones are attracted to witting or because they don't feel anything, and wit means something he said. I forgot exact words. Something he said, Black Rolf.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Hmm.
Derry,
There was,
we don't remember.
yeah, we don't remember much about forged ones. I was just looking at this exchange between no, Fool and Starling. No, I think it was this guy Fitz, and he says like d- how would you feel if I demanded proof that you were a man? Fool will ask this guy Fitz, and such a thing to waste words on. With all else, we must confront. Let it go, Fitz, and I will as well. Let her refer to me as she as much as she wishes. I will do my best to ignore it. And then he goes on to say, but it matters, right? Gender matters. That's what Fitz says. So he's like, why does it matter? And then then your favorite dialogue, Greg, you said about you're confusing plumping and love again.
Yes.
So that whole scene and exchange and this discussion about gender, that was really
I
nice,
really
actually.
liked the fool's response to Fitz actually. He was like, let
Yeah,
her do that, I'll ignore. I mean, this is not something we can focus. There are more important things to focus on.
exactly.
Mhm.
It is this is so relevant even now. I don't know, in '97 she
Neeru,
just wrote it.
I really enjoyed the entire quest actually. I mean, yes, it is slow paced, it is more of emotional introspection, but it really made me think and I loved it.
Hmm.
Mm.
Oh, hey.
Yes. Yeah. It's good quote. And then when Fitz says betting and the fool's like, betting? Is that the only reason you love Molly? That was
Yo,
good.
all
It
right.
was like part of love as well. What is love? Um,
Okay, see, Chani, yes, you could be right, but having said that, we did not get any information that boy came to them only when they were at Buck. He could have come to them before Buck. He could have traveled with them. But
mhm.
yes, I could be totally wrong.
No, but he
Yeah,
was already
and
there, right? He came in the hall
yeah,
on the horse. He was stand
and I also
waiting.
gave it thought that yes, it took him 6 years to come back to Buck, but he did not mention that how long he was there. So maybe plus 2 3 years, maybe yes.
Mm, right.
And you have to go and Google and prove me wrong.
Who googled?
Yep. Google is always right.
So is it 30?
No,
Am
23
I
plus
correct?
3, 26. I am still right. 23 plus 3 only 26.
I
I'm
Mm,
joking, guys.
I
I
wonder
mean,
if witted dogs live longer. Like, is Night Eyes just going to be dead next book from old age or like about to die?
ooh, I wanted to ask you this. Where do you think Elderlings went at the end?
Oh yeah, I don't even
Same
know.
that their Stone City, Stone Garden.
Yeah, did they
yeah,
just
I
go back?
think they would have gone there, right? That's what I was assuming that. Yeah,
Mm.
I was assuming they would do that. So did anybody listen to the audio of this
Yes, I did
book?
while we reading physical.
Hmm. So really loved the way Fool's voice was done. Do you like that? I really
Yes.
really loved it.
Yes, I mean, our narrator did a great job with Fool's voice at the same time, emotional scenes with Fitz voice. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when first time Chade, I mean, was telling him that he will take his kid. Fool's, I mean, Fitz voice, like, uh, oh my God, it's
He was
almost like
shivering,
he's
kind of like.
actually crying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, yes, that was good, and also, yeah, definitely, Fool's voice. It was on point, exactly how I would have pictured in my mind.
Yep. All right, I must go do things. Um, but thank you for joining me, both of you.
Yeah,
It was great
I
having
must go
you.
and sleep. It's almost
Yes.
1 o'clock in the
But I
night
want
now.
to talk more, at least for another couple of hours.
Oh no,
Let's
I'm
do that.
sorry.
Call me, Anita. I am ready to talk.
Okay.
Um, but yes, thank you for joining.
Sorry for interrupting, Greg. Before you do that, audiobooks, isn't that great, when it comes to being true to words in the physical copies, there are
Mm,
so many mistakes, there are so many word differences, there are so many mistakes, like, especially in Assassin's Quest. So they aren't,
yeah,
I mean, if you're relying on only listening to the book, that's not great. I read it along with
it goes
physical
together.
copy. So narration wise, emotional scenes and all good, but there are so many mistakes. Just keep it in mind.
Hmm.
Okay, wait. A blow your mind fact: even Robin Hobb intended for Fool to only ever appear once, deliver his prophecy, and never be seen again. What?
Yeah,
Robin
that would
Hood.
have been interesting if he would just like randomly showed up once in the first book and gave the prophecy and left. Um,
Actually, it kind of makes sense after hearing this, because that was the first time we saw Fool, and there wasn't, we don't know any background of that character. We did not get anything. He came all of a sudden. It is clear that he only developed later.
Mm.
mhm. Yeah, that was like his purpose in the first book almost. He just showed up.
But I think he was very mysterious from the beginning, and was I
Yeah.
always had an eye on him, like where his character arc will go. I
I
really wanted to
only
see
have
that
that
from the
because
beginning.
of the titles of the books. Fools Around,
Fool's
Fools
Errand.
Assassins. These titles are, I mean, I like the titles, but these are giving away the book. I mean,
It's a
just
giveaway,
because of
yeah.
the titles, we will know that Fitz will be, survive till the end of the book, some and series, something like that. Otherwise, I would have been more scared for Fitz.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. The yeah, that can be a problem with longer series. It's a spoiler because you know the characters are alive because people talk about them and they're on the titles of books and stuff. Um, but
Right.
yes, um, I must go. But it was nice talking to both of you, and thank you for joining.
Same
May
here.
live ship traders.
Before you go, sorry, Greg, I'm
Sure.
keeping you. I'll tell you guys one thing. This Gregory, I know he hasn't finished the book before the show, so I kind of told him, "Do you want me to, do thumbnail for you?" I asked him. He
Yes.
said, "Thank you. That would be helpful." He said, the next. Next second, I saw him chatting in one of the Sanderson chats. I was like, what the heck?
It was just one message, I think, and then no, but that one message led to me getting added, and then I was like, "Oh no." Yeah. But yeah, I will. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean, it is funny actually. It's okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was nice, chatting with you about this book. Thanks for inviting me, Gregory. It's great.
yes. Yep.
Looking forward
Um,
to our next book in May.
Next book, May. Exactly. Exactly. All right. Thanks
Thanks,
for
Kay.
joining.
Thanks for joining and thanks for
Thanks
making
everybody for
it fun.
joining.
And thanks to Greg for bearing my interruptions. And thanks everyone for listening to my rants.
Yep. It was good rants. Good rants. All right.